Hello everyone, this is Paul Casillas, and I'm going to walk through the workflow of how to create a Microsoft Excel file that can be used in Power BI that is tied to Microsoft Forms so that whenever someone enters a response in Forms, the Microsoft Excel file will be updated and therefore the Microsoft Power BI dashboard will be auto-updated as well. So we're going to go ahead and start this process off by going to our Office web page, our basic one, where we log in. And we are going to go to Excel. So we're going to office.com and we're going to the 3x3 dot to go to Excel, and that'll bring us to the Excel page, and we're going to launch a blank workbook. Okay, so we have a blank workbook open now, and as always, whenever you're working with a file, it's always good to give it a proper name. So we're going to give this one a proper name. Cool. So now we have an Excel file called proper name, and we're going to make this tied to a Microsoft form. So we're going to go to Inserts, we're going to go to Forms, and we're going to do a new form. This will bring up Microsoft Forms Office.com. And you'll see that the name of the Excel file is now the name of the Microsoft form. And we can go ahead and start the process by adding a few simple questions, such as your name, and then just two other ones. A simple choice, we'll leave it blank, so it's a skeleton, and we'll leave a simple rating question there. And we can see right now that we have no responses because we just made this, but we can open it in Excel to see if it's syncing up, and yeah, we can see that all of these questions have now populated that form. So if we close out that one we just opened and the Microsoft form that we just created, we'll go back to our original one and we can for sure see that we now have the ID, the time that the form was started, time the form was completed, the email, and the name that the university has associated with that email, and modification time, and then the questions themselves along with the values that went in. So we're going to go ahead and play with this a little bit. Let's go back to that form and let's give it a few responses. So I'm just going to pause the video while I answer this 3 times. Okay, cool. So now we have a few responses that I filled in, and it was just a few ones. I threw all of our names in there, and then I gave everyone, or had everyone give a bad score, so that way I could see what order they were put in. And let's go back to that Excel file. So as we put those answers in, we can see that this is starting to refresh. I just literally put in that 5th response, and you can see that there's 5 responses, but we only have 4 here. Oh, there's the 5th one. It just came across. So this is sometimes a little slow, sometimes it's immediate, but I'm going to run through it to add a 6th person just so we could see the process. And Yolanda Martinez 2, because I already have you in there once. And we're just going to do a 5-star. And then we'll go back and we can see that the 6th one will populate in about maybe... Sometimes it takes a few seconds, sometimes it's really fast. It's always kind of hard to say, but as long as you see this, this will eventually come over. So it's currently 5:02 p.m. Let's see how long it takes. Cool, so it's still 5:02 p.m. and it finally came across. It took a little bit, but that response was successfully logged into here. So now we want to make sure that this, or see where this is saving to, and it is currently saving to my OneDrive. Because now that this form is automatically synced, it's going to keep updating whenever anyone fills it out. So now what we want to do is take that form and load it into Power BI. So I already have Power BI open with a previous one. So we're going to go ahead and make a new dashboard instead of my currently complicated dashboard. And then we're going to start the process of loading the data into Power BI. So we're going to go ahead and use the Excel workbook. We're going to go to my OneDrive, and we're going to go to the proper name file. Oh, that one popped open. Here is the proper name file, and it is about 5 minutes old. So this is the one from when I first made it. So when we load this, there will not be any data in this Excel file. So let's go ahead and load it up. And we can see right here that there is nothing in here. So let's go ahead and close this out. Let's go back to the File Explorer. Let's find that file and let's make sure that it is actually updating. This part right here where we are verifying that the form is updating properly is probably one of the big headaches of this whole process, because it can just take a while to make sure everything's working. And we can see that there's nothing in here. So if we open this, we'll find the problem right now. Oh, see, new version is available and we cannot apply changes made by someone else. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and close this. We got to make sure that that file is closed on the opposite end. Okay, it is good. Now we just got to wait a few seconds to get this thing open, reopen, and refresh. Okay, let's try it one more time. Yep, it's updated. There it goes. 5:04 p.m. It is currently 5:04 p.m. Let's go ahead and reopen this. And Form 1. Oh, here it is. It's all under Form 1. So I had the wrong tab open. So we're just going to have to make sure that we select Form 1 on the opposite end. So we can go ahead and close this. Let's go to Power BI. Let's import that data. Let's go to that proper form. Let's open it up. Now we can see that there is data in here. So let's pull from Table 1. Let's load the data in. And let's just give the index a table or a quick bar chart, and then we will try playing with it. So we're going to pause real fast. Okay, so we got that question loaded, and I loaded the names on the y-axis, and I put the score that the person gave on the x-axis, so we can see how each person gave a score. We can see that I have Dr. Schwab gave us a 5, along with Yolanda a 5. Dean Jackson, I have him give us a 4. The first one from Yolanda was a 3, and then Abdullah gave a 2, and then me, being a perfectionist and never being happy with my work, I gave myself a 1. So let's go ahead and continue with adding more data to this and see how it changes. So we're going to pause real fast. Okay, so now we have the proper name file open again, and we're going to finish the initial workflow that would be completed by a student. So whatever happened, the person filled out the form and now they hit submit. Now we can close this out because they submitted the response. We can go to the proper name Excel file to see if this processed that new response. So let's go ahead and wait for that to slowly populate. And one of the reasons I'm noticing is that the internet the past week has been extremely latency heavy. I have been monitoring the network traffic for the past 2 days from the UK and also from a few other countries, and there's a lot of more stuff going on with latency. So this whole process is just getting slow right now. But here we can see this 7 just populated. We now have a new response with option 2 and a 5-star rating. So let's go back to Power BI, and now we're going to try to refresh this data from that online form by hitting this refresh, getting that data to reload, and then trying to load that new row into this table. So this may take a few attempts because of all that stuff going on in the background with the latency, but let's go ahead and try to get this refreshed. All right, cool. So we got it all updated. We now have that 7th row right here. So let's go ahead and close this file because you cannot update Power BI when any of these are open. Close them all out. Let's go ahead and hit that refresh button. Let's cross our fingers and boom, now we got that new response. It's now updated. So now if someone comes with that same name and fills it out again, it will log it in that spot and it will keep updating. So now we have a Excel file that is linked to a Microsoft form that is also linked to Power BI. So when that form is completed, it updates the Excel file, which then automatically updates Power BI. This allows the data flow to remain in Power BI, and you can keep everything flowing and your workflow. It works great. It just takes a little bit of setup. Once you get more complicated than this and you want to start publishing to the Power BI intranet, then we're going to need to have discussions related to nodes and gateways and to take it to the next step. So this is it for right now. I hope this helps. If it doesn't, please let me know of how I can make this more efficient and helpful to you. Thank you so much and have a good day.